is Brother Shareef with the Hour of Power. Go to Hour of Power, Shareef Hamid on YouTube, subscribe and share so we can continue to lift the mind, body, and soul of our people. Peace, cuz, what's going on? Not even going to do my normal introduction tonight or this evening. Hope everyone is having a good evening, enjoying the nice weather that the Most High has blessed us with. We were complaining all over the winter about not having good weather. Now God has blessed us. I don't want to hear anyone complaining. I don't care if it gets to be 100 degrees. But this Negro, and that's taking it light, Kayne West has lost a little bit of mind that he already didn't have. I just watched the interview. I may be a little late. Been so busy, with my job. I'm a mobile therapist, so I'm always ripping and running, trying to heal people from mental illness, which that's something we really should be concentrating on instead of this Negro. But many people have asked me, why haven't I said anything about it, on my channel? So I figured I'd take a couple minutes to address it. I just listened to the full interview because I don't like going off of emotions. I don't like going off of what someone else said. I like to hear the facts for myself. So I listened to it almost 2 times. And not that I didn't believe, my brothers and sisters, but hearing and seeing is believing. And everyone has a different perspective, maybe on the same thing. Case in point, even though this is kind of extreme, how people can see the same thing but get a different perspective. Y'all remember Rodney King? The brother who, may he rest in peace, his incident really put police brutality on the map. Not that it wasn't going on before that, but because of the video camera, that's what really put police brutality on the map. My father, Sidney Howard, may he rest in peace, I wouldn't be where I am without him. But anyway, my dad used to tell me about police brutality way before the cameras. He used to tell me, watch yourself around the police. So this wasn't no new thing with Rodney King. But with the Rodney King incident, the reason I'm bringing that up, as we can have different perspectives and see the same thing. Do you know they came out with a poll after that? And almost, I believe it was like 67% of the American public. And I never know where they get these polls from, because I've never been polled or asked about anything. But anyway, whoever they polled, 67% of America said they didn't see nothing wrong with that video. I'm going to say it again. Back with the Rodney King case, which any human being, most of us, especially black, thought that was one of the most horrific things that we've ever seen. But 67%, somewhere around there, I have to go back in my old notes, of America said they ain't see nothing wrong with the video. You know how many Americans ain't see nothing wrong with what happened to Trayvon Martin? To us, as sane black people, we thought both of those cases were slam dunk. So clear, so atrocious. But yet our adversary, which he said, going back to Kayne West, said we should love everyone. They said they ain't seen nothing wrong with it. You ever see the Facebook posts of some white people in America? I ain't talking about no one famous, just everyday white people. You would be shocked at some of the things that they say about some of the same things that we look at as injustice. So I had to see it from myself. I had to listen to it for myself and even leave race out of it. Some sisters can look at a situation and a brother look at a situation and we get 2 totally different views from it. So when I listened to the interview, this Negro is all over the place because he's mentally ill. I deal in mental health. I know a mentally ill person when I see it. I do it every day. He hasn't been right since his mother passed. Just hasn't been right. He hasn't been right. but this is co-opted. Listen to hip hop, since he brought that up. They always put mentally ill, dysfunctional people in front of us, and then try to pose them as someone sane to make the masses insane. Tell me if I'm lying. Listen to some of the stuff Biggie used to say. And a lot of other rappers that many of us think are normal. Do you think that's sane? I'm saying that to say this is what they deliberately do. Look at the people, whether they're in entertainment, athletes, or whatever. They mostly put dysfunctional people in front of us to make it seem like they're normal. Look at the TV shows. When is the last time? That's why I said the other day in my last message that I'm not a big fan of Bill Cosby, but the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, one of my teachers, said, even if the devil is correct, give credit where credit is due. Even though I'm not a big Bill Cosby fan, you have to give him credit for having a show that gave a different narrative about black families. Because after shows like Good Times, almost every show that we see is a dysfunctional black family or unit. Power, empire, dysfunctionality. The music, dysfunctionality. That's what they put in front of us. And our children are watching this dysfunctional and listening to this dysfunctionality. See, it goes way deeper than the surface. This is a deliberate attempt to make us dysfunctional in a subconscious way using subliminal messages. Because I look at things on a deeper level because I deal in mental health. I probably go overboard because I'm so analytical, because I have to be analytical with my job. But I know I'm not imagining these things. This is a deliberate attempt. Again, look at the shows that they put out here. These shows that they put out here now. Power, empire. And sorry if I'm stepping on anyone's toes, but I'm here to give you a different perspective, not to hurt your feelings. Look at these shows. All dysfunctional relationships. All of them. All the functional ones been gone. They didn't even want them to be in existence. Florida Evans had to fight like hell. What's her real name? Esther Rolle. She had to fight like hell to get John Amos, who we know is James Evans, on the show as her husband. They wanted her to be dysfunctional, and that was back in the 70s. Wanted her to be a single mother on Good Times, and she said absolutely not. This is a deliberate attempt. Look at all the movies that we were basking over in the 80s and 90s. Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood. Even though it was truth in it, it was dysfunctional messages. Murder. Why don't they do a movie about the pyramids as if that's all black people are about? See, this is the subliminal message. Murder, bloodshed, dysfunctionality. So I'm saying that to say that this was a deliberate attempt. It wasn't even, the interview lasted 30 minutes with Kayne West and TMZ. Within 3 minutes, he jumped on that topic. You can't tell me that wasn't a deliberate attempt. I can't prove it, but if I had to put my bottom dollar on it, this was a deliberate attempt by the powers that be for him to come up with that topic and go there. Go back and look at the tape. The whole interview was 30 minutes. So I'm like, all right, I'm messing around thinking maybe 15, 20 minutes in, he somehow gets on that topic. How he get on that topic within 3 minutes? Go back and look at it. That was a deliberate attempt to stir the pot. And of course, to get the ratings up. I know that's what TV shows do, but I believe that was a deliberate attempt. He is dysfunctional, and this is what they do. This is what they do. It was a short film just to prove and give you a different perspective on what I'm saying. I want y'all to look this up to prove the point about the media and the powers that be deliberately putting TV shows, music, and whatever they can put on media and TV out as dysfunctional to make it our reality. I want y'all to look this up because many people don't know about it. I talked about it in one of my talks earlier this year, but there's nothing wrong with repeating the truth because we get repeated lies all the time. I want y'all to look up a short film that was supposed to come out, but it was so inflammatory, so blatant, that luckily it didn't hit the airwaves. Are y'all ready? I want y'all to look up A Strange Thing About the Johnsons. It was a short film that was supposed to come out maybe 2-3 years ago, maybe 4. I want you to Google it. It'll come right up. It's called A Strange Thing About the Johnsons. It was a short film that was supposed to come out, and it was supposed to be a regular TV show. It was a documentary, which was supposed to be a TV show. You could look it up on YouTube. And it was about this black family. The dad was an author. The mom was like a businesswoman. And it was this son. As the story starts out, or the show starts out, the father walks in the room and he catches his son masturbating. But he tells his son it's all right. Come to find out, the son was sexually abused, I believe. And the father was a child molester. And the son started having sexual relations with the dad and was forcing the dad to have sex with him, meaning the son. And then the mom found out and gave the dad an ultimatum to stop. But in every chance the son got, he was sexually abusing his own father. It wants something like that. It's so sickening. And it's called A Strange Thing About the Johnsons. Look it up. And this was the plot of the story. So that's what Satan does. He gives you a little bit of truth, but he dabbles his falsehood in it. And that is in the Quran, the book of the Muslims. Ramadan Mubarak coming up to all the Muslims out there, coming up soon. It says, Satan always throws in his vanity. But I want y'all to look that up. That's what the story was supposed to be about. And it was a homosexual who was the author, I believe, of this supposed documentary or short film that was supposed to come out. A Strange Thing About the Johnsons. A son sexually abusing the dad, and the dad was too punctified, supposedly, and scared to fight him off. And they was going to come out with this as a regular show. But it was some people that said absolutely not, and then they stopped it. But the even mere thought that they would even think about coming out with something like this. And then they said no racism was involved in this. It was just a different perspective on sexuality. But it goes back to my point. They deliberately put dysfunctional family settings and subliminal messages out there to sell it as normal to us. So this thing with Kayne West, it's nothing new. The man is dysfunctional. 2-3 minutes within the talk, he's on there talking about slavery as a choice. We don't even need to discuss this topic because it's so ludicrous. A choice? Has he seen any documentaries on the Middle Passage? How they used to put 700, 800, 900 people on a ship that could only hold 100 or 200 people? Put them at the bottom of the deck where it may only be 2-3 feet high, people defecating and urinating on each other. So, goddamn it, Kayne West, you're telling me people voluntarily defecated and urinated on each other. Women were on their menstrual cycle on each other. They voluntarily did that. People linked up on chains, 4 or 5 people linked up on chains because they were unruly. Why would they have to link them up on chains and throw them overboard if it was a choice?